Right now on Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News, exploring Colorado's emerging psychedelic mushroom market.
After voters decided to decriminalize psilocybin, psychedelics grow more mainstream.
I think there's definitely concern about commercializing it, but then also there's really a lot of interest in it.
A look at the history of the substance and preparations for the first psychedelic healing centers in the state.
Plus, how groups with deep traditions in the natural medicine are fighting to protect sacred practices.
This bill was passed without the people who are closest to the medicines. It's inherently inequitable.
Welcome to Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. I'm Colorado Public Radio's Nathan Heffel.
And I'm Denver7's Micah Smith. Each week, in a partnership between Denver7 and CPR, we'll have a real talk about issues impacting underrepresented people across Colorado.
And today we're talking about psilocybin and Colorado's growing psychedelic industry. Psilocybin is the psychedelic chemical found in mushrooms and can cause euphoria, distorted perception, and hallucinations.
The use of psilocybin is illegal at the federal level. However, a growing number of studies have found the drug can be effective in treating PTSD, depression, anxiety, and substance use disorders. But psychedelics as healing agents aren't a new concept. For centuries, Indigenous people have used psychoactive plants in ceremonies for emotional, physical, and spiritual healing.
It's part of sacred and ancient traditions for these tribes. Now, recognition and acceptance of these benefits is becoming more mainstream. It's prompting some cities to consider relaxing restrictions.
The movement to decriminalize psilocybin began right here in Colorado in 2019, when Denver became the first U.S. city to do so. 3 years later, Colorado voters decided to decriminalize psilocybin statewide and legalize psychedelic therapy. Rules and regulations are still being worked out for these healing centers, with the first one expected to open by next year. Now the city of Denver is working to decide if it will license these healing centers and testing and manufacturing facilities or let the state handle it.
The Department of Excise and Licenses has convened a natural medicine work group to help. Joining us now is Molly Dupachain, Executive Director of Excise and Licenses. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So first, can you tell us more about this work group and what you're going to be looking at?
Yeah, so we just had our first meeting of the Natural Medicine Work Group last week. We've assembled a work group of about 20 different folks to provide us their views and perspectives and provide us their knowledge and expertise so that we can make some recommendations around whether we should be licensing and regulating those types of facilities here in Denver.
And so what does this group makeup look like? Who are these people?
Yeah, so we have some diverse perspectives on the group. We have several folks from the city and various different agencies from across the city. And then we put out a call for applications. We received over 200 applications. So there's a lot of interest in this. And we've selected some people that have backgrounds in providing this type of therapy. People that have some experience in cultivating psilocybin mushrooms or regular gourmet mushrooms perhaps, and then also folks from the Indigenous communities to represent that side of the tradition and the cultural aspect, and some medical professionals as well.
You had your first meeting. Any key elements that came out of that first meeting that would be interesting to know?
Yeah, so for the first meeting, what we really did was one, just try to set a baseline and have everybody get to know each other, but then also hear from them about what topics they'd like to discuss in our future meetings. We heard things such as education is one really important piece that everybody wants to talk about, security aspects of the facility, other types of training, what types of services should be provided or should be provided to the patients. But I think the biggest thing that we heard was really centering equity within this conversation and making sure that the traditional and the cultural traditions are really a topic of discussion and centered around when we're talking about how to license and regulate, that is something that we really consider.
And I think that's such an important part, the cultural aspect of this, but also has to align with the public safety and health benefits and things like that. How is this group working to kind of mirror the two and put them together?
Yeah, and so that's really the tough job that lies ahead of us, is to figure out, this was a will of the voters. Colorado voters approved this. They're going to be operating in Colorado and in Denver sometime in the near future, and our job is to look at the public health and safety aspect and see what types of regulations might be needed to make sure that we can protect the public, protect the patients, but still make sure this is a accessible program for patients that want to access it, and also people that want want to access it from, creating one of those businesses.
I know it's been years since Denver decriminalized psilocybin, but what has the general reaction been from people in the city so far just about the psychedelic industry or the efforts to create an industry?
Yeah, I think there's definitely concern about commercializing it, and so we're really trying to be aware of that as we're having these conversations. But then also there's really a lot of interest in it. I think there's a really a lot of interest from the mental health side in making sure that these services are available. And so again, that from a licensing and regulatory side, we want to make sure that we create a program that is accessible. But that's really just, we're excited, and there was a lot of interest from kind of really all different aspects of it.
How's the public getting involved with this?
So, like I said, we had over 200 people apply to the work group, so there's obviously a lot of interest from that side. We'll have public comment available at every single one of our work group meetings. And then if we have recommendations to bring forward around licensing and regulating, those will go to City Council hopefully later this year, and that will have its own public input process as well.
When we talk about psilocybin, the conversation always steers towards cannabis. How will this model differ from the model followed when it came to regulating the cannabis industry in our city?
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways we can approach it in the same way, but I think the concepts are very different. The models are very different. There is no commercialization or recreational component to this model, to the natural medicine model. So there'll be no commercial sales, there'll be no off-site consumption. There's personal use, but what we're looking at right now is that on-site consumption and the medical or the service providing of that treatment and on-site consumption, as well as the cultivation and the manufacturing and the testing. Those are the pieces that we're looking at. But there are definitely some very big differences, but there's a lot of lessons we learned, I think, that we can take away from how we approached marijuana as well.
Because you built it from the ground up in that situation kind of
Right.
as well, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you want the public to know about building something like this from the ground up? I mean, this is intense. It's going to last for a long time. It's going to impact a lot of people. How do you, in your position, make sure that it all works?
Yeah, that's the hard part for sure. And I think at this point where we're in is we're learning. And so that's what I think I want the public to know is if they have something that they think we should be aware of, that we should be thinking about and know before we're creating or recommending that we create any regulations, that's the information that we're looking for in this work group. So denvergov.org/natural medicine, that's the place to go to look for information and to find out when our work group meetings are. So if there are people that have information that they want to share that we should be aware of as we're making all these considerations, that's the opportunity to share that information.
Absolutely. And is that where you would go in terms of updates? Because I know there, as you mentioned, a lot of people are interested in this and what's happening when it comes to trying to regulate the industry. So where should we go for updates?
Yeah, that website is great. The state Division of Natural Medicine also has some really great updates. We're trying to line up and sync with their timeline as well. And so there will be updates on both of those websites for information about the work group, but then also as we go forward and make recommendations, that will be another place to get those updates as well.
All right, Molly Duplachain, leading the Denver Excise and Licenses Department. Thank you so much for joining us for this Real Talk.
Thank you.
Coming up, preserving sacred psychedelic traditions as the use of mushrooms becomes more widespread. Indigenous people fight to not get left behind.
We're talking with activists about how the emerging industry can be more inclusive. This is Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News.
Pivo Wona, Hehani Washte, Yate Bene, Manu Wabin, good day. I'd like to make sure that everyone would acknowledge before we begin that we're on stolen land. We're on the original homeland of our people, the Kiowa, the Comanche, the Apache, the Ute, the Cheyenne, the Arapaho, the Lakota, the Mexica people. So I wanted to make sure that everyone acknowledges that and maybe say a short word of prayer. Maheo, Aho Maheo. We give thanks for this blessing to be able to stand here today and speak for these sacred medicines. We're here protecting the medicine. We're here to do good, to bring health and happiness and togetherness for our people. Keep us connected and grounded. help us do our humble best, Creator. Protect each one of us, and even those that wish bad upon us, protect them too, you know, ease their hearts and their pain right now, Creator. And I hope like that. Mitakuyo Yasin.
And we want to thank the Native Coalition for that land acknowledgement and that prayer as we open our next segment here. Welcome back to Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. We'll be talking more with the Native Coalition in just a minute.
I'm Colorado Public Radio's Nathan Heffel.
And I'm Denver7's Micah Smith. We're continuing our talk about psilocybin and the growing market around it in Colorado. As Colorado continues working on rules for a regulated psychedelic industry, some activists are questioning how equitable the industry will be for communities of color.
As we mentioned earlier in the show, the use of psilocybin dates back thousands of years among Indigenous people. Now, some groups are concerned these sacred traditions will be overshadowed and left behind as the use of psychedelics becomes more widespread and commercialized.
So joining us now is Angela Beers and KB from the Native Coalition, along with many other members. I want to thank all of you so much for being with us here today. So what are your thoughts on who can currently access this medicine?
It's always been accessible, and I'm not sure which medicine you're speaking of, but the one in particular that I'm speaking of, it's always been accessible.
And what medicine is that?
That would be peyote.
We briefly talked at the top of the show, but how was psilocybin traditionally used by Indigenous people?
That would be a question for the Mazatecans and Central American Indigenous people. We've reached out and we don't have any representative, and I am not privy to speak for that.
Yeah.
Can you talk about current uses? And I want to be clear, I don't want to paint different communities with a blanket brush, and I understand that that's something that happens often, and I recognize that. But if you could speak from your own experience and from your own background about how it's used in your experience, I think that would be really helpful for our viewers and listeners.
It's not my medicine, so I can't speak for it, unfortunately.
I think, you know, kind of what KB is saying here is that this whole process has been rushed and moved so fast that there's a lot of people that have been left out. And, you know, we look at Indigenous people, the diversity of us, you know, we're not all the same. We have different traditions that we try to maintain and different medicines. And we don't mix medicines, and some do. So there's a lot of, you know, those things that are going on within our own communities, and with this sort of legislation pushing all that to the forefront, it's erasure at its finest. It's threats. To commodify something such as psilocybin, which the West thinks of it as a party drug, as something to get altered, to get high on, and more recently to heal from trauma. Those are aspects of it, and the way that traditional folks have maintained that to some degree, you know, that I will speak to some amount on, is that it's been held in respect and high regard. You know, there's a lot of things that go into that that are sacred, that should not be shared on a TV show. You know, it's people aren't going to understand that, and you understand the importance of that through the relationship with the plant medicine or the fungi, for example. And so psilocybin was the first sacrament put on the table. It was the first sacrifice, and that's something that people need to look at and consider when they're moving forward with a sense of entitlement and access.
And I heard the word rushed. I heard the word, you know, silencing and things like that. How do you lift those voices up now? How do you, because this has been something the voters are saying this is happening, right? How do we lift up those voices of people who are here saying, this has been here all along, and this seems like something that wasn't done in a way that pleases everyone? Can you talk a little bit about that? Because that seems like a huge concern.
Well, first of all, we want to acknowledge that we're privileged to be in Denver. We're urban natives. And there are a lot of native voices being left out. And so we're showing up for the different communities that we've built relations with. And This is a humble way, so I feel very uncomfortable being here. I want to express that. It's not about me. It's a way of life. And what the state did was they failed to enact the prior informed consent, which tribal nations are their own sovereign nations. There's federal law, ARFA, American Religious Freedom Act, that protects our medicines and our sacred items. So, you know, those things were disregarded. This is commodification, this is about money, and there are some unjust things happening because, like she said, you stand to erase, you stand to completely annihilate ways of life. And so I want to say that with a humble regard, but all due respect, it's really upsetting.
Micah, this conversation is so important, and I think we should just do something a little different that we don't do all the time here.
Yeah, we definitely don't do this all the time on Real Talk, but we want to extend this conversation centering Indigenous voices. And so what we'll do is we're going to extend that conversation and have more from this Native Coalition after a quick break.
Stay with us. This is Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. Now, before the break, we mentioned we wanted to extend this conversation and truly center Indigenous voices. So we are going to jump right back in. Is there an equitable path forward? And if so, what does that look like? And I don't mean when it comes to creating an industry. I just mean now that this has been enacted, what would, in your opinion, be an equitable path forward?
Yeah, I mean, what's equity? The simple fact that this bill was passed without the people who are closest to the medicines, all of the medicines that were put on this bill, which only one grows here, it's inherently inequitable. So we're already working at a disadvantage. But people want their access. They want their healing, and people need healing. People do need healing, but people need to assess their relationship with these medicines, their intentions with these medicines, and the people that have protected them, have stewarded them, have kept them in these ways, so that way we're here. We're here because of Native and Indigenous folks, because those traditions have been kept so sacredly. And I don't think there is a way to be equitable at this point. But we're looking at reducing harm. We're looking at how you can, whoever the powers that be, empower those who have the closest relationships with these medicines, that don't have money and profit, you know, driving them, driving the relationship. So slowing things down, being in conversation that's deep, it looks at the nuances, and that respects the people and empowers the people, especially sovereign nations that are here. You know, Colorado isn't just Colorado. You know, there's the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. You know, this used to be Mexico. That's my people. That's where my dad's side comes from. So there's this history that isn't being acknowledged. And it's an opportunity to do that. This is an opportunity to do that, to really empower the people that have been disempowered, have been harmed by the drug war.
So, final question: is there a way for someone who is seeing maybe the benefits of this, someone with PTSD or someone who is in really need of something like this, to educate themselves, to also educate others about the history of where these things come from, the spiritual aspect? Is that what you feel is missing, the fact that this is now going to become, I'm just going to walk into a store and pick up this thing, and it's in a clinic or something, and have this thing work with that lack of education of where it came from? Is that a concern? And is there a way to maybe say, let's not move away from the, you know, the state and the city and say, but more to the people actually using these things, to say, you know, there is something deeper here that helps, but it's also much more spiritual than that?
I think it's way deeper. And I think when you mention the word equity, what comes to mind is, for me, money. This is a way of life to people. This is, identity. And so when you ignore that, it's deeply wounding. So equity, it's not about equity. It's about, for me, I came with a message of conservation. I came with a message of it's not for sale. This isn't for sale. This isn't a commercialized, commodified product that's for sale. It is a way of life. It's a very humble way of life.
Well, I think if I could respond and add a little bit, Sis. So professionally, I am a psychologist. And as a psychologist, someone who's been practicing psychology since 2008, one of the huge issues that this particular field that they're putting it into in the mental health realm has struggled to understand and figure out how it fits in, if it fits in at all, is spirituality and religion. It has been a very taboo thing, and a lot of clinicians and license holders have struggled with that, and how do they provide those services. So if we can't get the basics down with your normal state of consciousness, how are we going to do that with, an expanded state of consciousness, which opens you up to, and most research shows that individuals tend to have spiritual experiences with these medicines. They are spiritual in nature. It reminds you of your nature, of your human nature, and of your position in the world, in the cosmos, in the universe. So that can't be ignored. And even with the discussions that are being had right now at the level of trying to figure out what the rules and regulations are going to be, that has been one that has been overlooked. People acknowledge that they're spiritual and say these sort of things, but they're not really looking at them. And if we look at our laws for America, we're not supposed to be getting into those sort of things. We're supposed to have separation of church and state. We're supposed to be protecting, against the regulation of religion and spirituality. And for some reason, the folks who don't have a relationship with these medicines don't understand that this is inherently spiritual, inherently religious. And so, yeah, that's something that has to be dealt with and needs to be dealt with now respectfully. And that would only be sort of dealt with in an equitable kind of way, harm reductive way, if you are working with the people who have been in the closest relationship with these medicines.
Angela, that's a very powerful point to end on. Angela Beers, KB, the entire Native Coalition, I want to thank you so much for being here. I recognize how hard and uncomfortable this is, but I am so grateful that you lend your voices to this conversation, because having this conversation reiterates how important it is to have your voices at the top of it. So thank you.
Thank you. That's this episode of Real Talk with Denver7 and CPR News. Now, every week, we're going to have real talks on issues that impact Coloradans who are often overlooked.
You can find all of our shows on denver7.com/realtalk or at cpr.org/realtalk. Have a great day.